Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Teenager Who Cooks. Today I'm going to be making a special dessert for a friend's birthday. It's Billy. You may remember him from many of my videos, and he was a judge on the famous cooking competition. I'm going to be making a mango tart for him today. It's going to be like a buttery tart shell with a nice custardy cream, and on top a bunch of mangoes. So let's get started. Alright, we're first going to be making the cream. So here's some ingredients. I have a cup of sugar. We're going to need vanilla extract. This is 2 cups of milk. Half a cup of cornstarch. 6 egg yolks. And we're going to need a pinch of salt as well. So the first step is going to be heating up our milk. Alright guys, so I've put my milk in this little pot on low heat. And we're just gonna go until it's just beginning to simmer. There's like little bubbles that are just coming out of it. Alright, so while our milk is cooking, we're just gonna combine our egg yolks and sugar in a bowl. I'm gonna whisk until you get a nice bright shade of yellow and it's all combined. Next, we're gonna add in the cornstarch and then also a pinch of salt. Alright, so now we just mix this until it's all combined. Alright guys, so the milk is ready. Now, while stirring this, I'm just gonna add in like this 1 spoonful of this hot milk. I don't wanna curdle the eggs. That's kind of not very good. I'm just gonna stir really fast. Now you can add another spoonful. Now we can go ahead and add in the rest of our milk. And just whisk. Alright, now what we're going to want to do, we're going to transfer it back into our pot and just start heating it up on the stove. Alright, so now we're just gonna cook this over medium heat until it's really like thick. Alright guys, so my mixture is pretty thick now. So I'm just gonna gloop it into this clear bowl I have. Alright guys, now the last step is just to take some plastic wrap and just push it down all onto this custard. Make sure that it's like completely just touching it. Really kind of hot, I want to be kind of careful. Now once you've done that, you can go ahead and let it just rest by itself in the fridge. Perfect. Alright guys, it's the next day, and here I just have a little under a cup of softened butter. I've just randomly cut it up. I'm going to be whisking it together with this. This is half cup of powdered sugar. And this is to make the tart dough, so. Now we're just gonna cream this on like a medium speed for 3 minutes. Alright guys, now we'll add 1 egg and carefully continue to mix. It's on a low speed until it's all combined. Alright guys, so now we'll add half a teaspoon of vanilla to our mixture. And also just a pinch of salt. Ooh, it's a bit much. Alright, now we can continue to mix. Alright guys, so now this is 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Just make sure to get it all in there. And now we'll just mix on a very slow speed until it's just combined. Alright guys, so now we're just gonna cover the dough with plastic wrap and then leave it for about an hour in the fridge. Alright guys, the dough has been resting for like an hour, a little more. And it's like hardened up now, you can see. And so now I've had the oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm just gonna let my dough lay over this like lightly floured surface. And I'm just gonna slowly roll it out until it's like 1/8 of an inch thick. Or just however thick you want your tart to be. 1/8 of an inch works best. Alright guys, so I'm gonna just flip my dough over my tart pan here. Just gonna let it drape over. And then kind of detach it from the paper. Very nice. Now I'll just kind of lift it up and let it fall into the edges. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead and just draped it all over and pressed it pretty well into the edges of the tart pan. And of course you can just always just use some little extra leftover dough to like fill in all the edges and stuff, and just go ahead and press it all down. And take your rolling pin and just press it along the top and sort of just cut off all the extra dough that you don't need. And then you've basically made yourself a beautiful tart. Alright guys, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my parchment paper, I put it over the tart, and I'm just going to add some weight just so it doesn't rise up. This is just rice. You can use actual pie weights or some other type of grain or bean. Just don't eat it afterwards. Alright, so I'm just going to put in this little tray. I'm going to transfer it in the oven to cook for 12 minutes or bake for 12 minutes. Alright guys, so I took the pie out of the oven. Now I'm just going to scoop out some rice to make the removal easier. Now I'm just going to carry it up like this. Alright, and now you can see the very, very nice pie crust. Not the pie crust, but the tart crust. It's like the butter is like glistening on the bottom. And now we're just gonna put it back in the oven for basically another 12 minutes. A little more, maybe less, depending on your oven. At 350 still, until it's just like golden brown. Alright guys, it's time to construct our tart. So I have my custard here. It's been resting overnight in the fridge. It's very, very nice. Now I'm just gonna put it into a piping bag. Just get a lot of the custard. Alright guys, now that I have the custard loaded into this piping bag, I'm just gonna carefully come over here. Just pipe it in a nice big line around the tart. course, you can just go in and fill in any parts you missed. Add some more around the edges. And once you've done that, you can just go in with a spatula and kind of make it flat. Alright, now that all of our custard is in the tart, very nice. We're gonna add the mangoes. So I'm just gonna cut these up and just add them in. Alright guys, it's now time to start stacking our mangoes on. So this is like around 3 mangoes that I cut up. You might use more or less depending on size of your mangoes, how much mango you want. It doesn't really matter. I might even need more, I'm not sure. Alright, and now for the last step, this is just some peach jam that I combined with a little bit of hot water. I'm just gonna heat this up in the microwave for at 10-second increments until it's like melted. Alright, so I microwaved it until it became really soft, and I also strained it just so there were no big peach chunks left in it anymore. I'm just gonna really gently brush all the mango with this. Alright guys, now I've put on the little glaze and I'll just put on 2 little mint leaves that I got from my backyard. And that's it. Alright guys, so this is my mango tart. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. It's very simple. And if you did enjoy the recipe, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next video.
We can see Billy's
reaction. It's not for him to just stand there awkwardly. Because he can't sing happy birthday either. It's
2, 1.
Happy birthday to you.
Flame died.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Billy. Happy birthday to you.
Take off your mask.
Woo!
Make a wish.
You can blow it out through the mask.
What?
The wind's gonna do it for you.
Yeah!